Hey Loc fam, it's Zen-81. Today I want to make a video on how I keep my roots retwisted because I mentioned before that I did a 6-month stretch without retwisting my hair, and people really couldn't believe that I had been stretching for 6 months. When I told them, they were like, how do you keep your roots twisted? Like, your hair still looks pretty neat. And to be honest, during the stretch, it was pretty easy. Like, I play with my hair all the time, so I make sure that especially after I wash it, my locks are separated. So when I say that I play with my hair, sometimes I'll be watching TV and I'll just be like this. I'll be going through my locks and I'll go like this just to make sure they're separated. So popping, like separating the matting at the roots, that wasn't a big problem for me. And just after a while, I know that a lot of people, they try to stretch, but then they say, oh, my roots are getting too matted. But after a while, like if you stick it out, your locks start to lock on their own. You separate them and the roots aren't matted because they're separating and they're becoming locks separately. Like, you retwist it, they're just pinching at the roots and separating themselves and forming their own separate locks at the roots. It's really hard to describe, and I don't even know how it happens. I just go a long time and then I feel like the roots are pinching each other, and then they stay locked at the roots, or they start to lock at the roots. And I just wanted to make a quick video on that because I've been asked by several people this past week how I keep my locks twisted. And my roots are manually retwisted right now. I had someone retwist my roots, and people are still asking me because there are other people with locks and they're approaching me and they're like, when I retwist my roots, they do not stay. They come undone because I have soft hair, or I have fine hair, or I have curly hair. And to be honest, my hair is pretty much curly. It's like kinky in the back, and it was curly around this area before I locked it, so it was pretty difficult to lock. And my hair does feel soft, but the actual texture of it is coarse. So the actual strands of hair that I have are like wire. That's how thick they are, and that probably does contribute to my retwist being able to stay in place, because people with coarse hair, sometimes their hair is just easier to manipulate. So that works for me. Maybe if my hair was fine and curly and soft, I wouldn't have the same results I'm having now. But to answer your question, when I go a long time without retwisting, as soon as I hit like the 4 months mark, my roots just start separating, or I keep them separated. They start locking on their own. They pinch in the middle and just start locking on their own, and that's why they don't match so much, and that's why they don't look messy. But when I go to someone else to have my hair retwisted, I do not wash my hair or shampoo my hair as often as I would if I was retwisting my hair on my own or going without a retwist. And I don't know if that makes sense, but I'll go to my loctician. Maybe I'm used to washing my hair once a week, but if I go to my loctician, I might wash it every 2 weeks, and that's just to keep the retwist looking fresh longer. And then it comes to the point where maybe even if I am washing my hair, I won't do it as rough because I won't want the retwist to come out as fast. So those are the only 2 things I do to keep my retwist looking fresh. And everyone's hair is different, so I do understand that if your hair is fine and soft, it becomes an issue sometimes, that you're not able to find your way around, and you do resort to interlocking it, and it's something that works for you. That's great. But you can't write it off if you have hair similar like mine. Like, just try going without a retwist a long time and see what happens, or try retwisting on a regular basis, and as opposed to interlocking, and realize that eventually your hair is going to start to lock. You don't have to depend on interlocking to lock your hair. So that's basically it. I'm going to take this style down because this is just something I was kind of experimenting with. It's like a top knot type thing, and I don't do a lot of updos. I just wanted to try something different, and I am not feeling this at all. So I'm going to take this down, and I'm going to make another video, and I will catch you guys later. Ciao.